Interesting. I've heard you on Fox Business. I think you gave obviously a huge Bitcoin bull, 300,000 Bitcoin prediction.
No, that wasn't my prediction. I
Oh,
said that someone else had said it was going to go to 300,000. I think it's going much higher.
interesting.
And I'll tell you why. Because when you look at the number of Bitcoin that are sitting on exchanges, it's going down every single day. And when Saylor comes in and he buys, $1 billion here, or Tesla buys $1.5 billion there, all they're doing is they're taking things away and they're locking them up in cold storage, and it'll never see the light of day. This isn't like equities. You got an equity, someone buys it, goes up 10%, they sell it. With Bitcoin, people hold it for years and years and years. And you don't have to sell it. Most people won't sell it, because if you sell it, guess what? You got to pay capital gains. But if you hold it, well, you could get yield on it. You could stake it in some way. You could, borrow off of it. There's lots of things you can do, but you don't have to sell it. And so people take it, it leaves the exchanges and never goes back. And maybe I think a couple of months ago, there was 3.5 million Bitcoin sitting around in exchanges. That number is a lot lower now. And if you think of this as a piece of cheese, at first, in 2017, it was little mice biting at it. Guys with 30 followers on Twitter. They were telling their moms it was going to go to 20,000 Bitcoin, and everyone's like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. Today, it's huge rats just biting and biting, getting bigger and bigger bites out of it. But they don't have 20 followers. They've got 150,000 followers, or 1 million followers, or 30 million followers. And they're telling all their friends, you got to bite in there too. And these aren't guys that are taking $5,000 positions like it was in 2020. These are guys taking $1.5 billion positions. And so you're dealing with big boys now, and it's not the guy in his basement that's going around telling everyone it's going to 20,000. It's guys like JP Morgan saying it's going to 176,000. Guys like Citibank that say it's going to go to 300,000. Guggenheim Partners who say it's going to go to 300,000. It's all of the big boys. Even Mass Mutual, your grandfather's insurance company, is buying Bitcoin. I don't know of anyone that isn't. And the only reason your bank right now is telling you don't buy Bitcoin is because they haven't figured out a way to make money on it. Now, when they figure out a way to make money on it, you can be sure they're going to be throwing it down your throat every time you go into the store, or your ATM will be showing it, and they'll be charging nice big hefty fees, and that's going to be it. But one of the most exciting things about Bitcoin is what it's sort of opened up people's eyes to. The OCC, it's called the Office of Comptroller and Currency. Now, no one's heard of this boring federal agency. These guys are in Washington, D.C., and they turned around the other day, 2 weeks ago. They said, listen, banks, you send these things called SWIFT payments and ACH payments. Think of a SWIFT payment. It's like when you're told to wire something. Your landlord says, hey, wire me the first 3 months' rent. You got to go to the bank or send a wire, $25 it costs you to send that thing. And maybe he's going to pay $25 once it gets deposited. There's a lot of fees there, and maybe it takes a week for him to get it. The OCC told banks, we don't want you to use these SWIFTs anymore, ACH. We want you to use stable coins. It's instantaneous, and there's no fee. I can buy $1 million of USDC today, and I can send it over to you. Guess what? It's going to cost me maybe 24 cents, something like that. And you're going to get it right now, instantaneous, in your wallet. There's no waiting around a week. There's no, oh, you know what? We're just checking to make sure it's all good. It just happens. And that's the beauty of the blockchain. It doesn't get lost in the shuffle. The record is there, it's immutable, and it happens instantaneously. And so Bitcoin has been like that sort of gateway drug into getting people interested and getting people involved. It's the sun that everything's gravitating around, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But right now, you've got all of these satellites going around that sun, things like stable coins that are going to get a lot more interest. The crazy thing that upsets me is you watch CNBC and they always say, well, I don't know, you can't buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin. It's not for buying coffee. Bitcoin is for taking your wealth and storing it so it doesn't devalue. Now, you've spent your whole life probably hearing from your grandparents or your parents, and they say, you got to buy real estate, it always goes up. Real estate doesn't go up. Here's the dirty secret. You've been taught this, but it's not real estate going up. It's the value of your dollar that's going down. I know this. I was a bright guy coming out of Carnegie Mellon in 1992, a long time ago. And I was working on Wall Street, and they were saying, we'll pay you $35,000. I was like, this is great. This is fantastic money. These days, a first-year analyst on Wall Street, maybe it's $180,000. Now, they're not a lot smarter than, not 6 times smarter than me. The price of the dollar's gone down that much since 1992. That's just, what, 30 odd years. I mean, that's the crazy thing. So you look at your house, say, wow, it's up 50% in the past 10 years. No, that's not true. The dollar's down that much. And people don't understand it because that's not how we're taught in school. We're always taught that's a great investment, but you're not taught that the dollar's a bad investment. And what Bitcoin's doing is it's teaching every one of us that the dollar is a bad investment. And I'll give a great example. Bring up a chart, the value of the dollar from 1930. It's not $1 anymore, it's like 5 cents. But then you're always taught when you're in school, the power of compounding. And I'm sure you've seen those charts. It says, oh, look, if you invest $1 when you're 6, by the time you're 30 or 65, guess what? It's like $28. Yeah, that's right. When interest rates are above 0, but right now interest rates are at 0 or negative in Europe and elsewhere. So I give you $1, and next year it's 95 cents, and next year it's 90 cents, and then it's 85 cents, then it's 80. Why on earth am I going to keep money at the bank? With a stable coin, I can buy $1 million of USDC, I can put it over at BlockFi or Celsius and get 10% interest on it and have the same liquidity. Oh, I owe you money here. I'll just send you some USDC. Why am I keeping it at the bank? The average person at a bank takes out $40 every time they go to the ATM, and they pay a $2 fee. Let's just go over this a little bit. Hold on. So I put my money in the bank, I get 0.25%, but every time I take $20 out or $40 out, I pay 5%. $2 out of $40 is 5%. People complain about fees on Ethereum. I mean, forget about it. The bank is fleecing you every single day, and you don't know it because you don't even think about it. You're like, I'm just going to the bank. It's convenient. The ATM's right there. Yeah, but they're taking 5% from your pocket every time you go. And that percent. But for the average American that takes out $40, they're getting absolutely hammered in fees, and they don't even notice it. They don't realize it. It's great for the banks. But once people understand this, because their education level goes up because they've been following Bitcoin and crypto, good luck to the banks in being able to keep their business, because people are going to flock into the crypto space.
Yes, great perspective. Make sure you watch the full conversation. There's a link down below in the description, and click subscribe. We drop a video every single day demystifying the cryptocurrency market. You do not want to miss one.